Hello friends, today I have a dog shark. I'm gonna dissect it. I'm gonna show you some important parts of it, but before I do the incisions, I want to show you something very interesting. I want you to look at this right here. These two up here are the claspers. These claspers are basically an extension of the pelvic fin. These are the reproductive organs of the male shark. If you notice, he has two, and the reason we have two is because he has two pelvic fins. Another thing I want to show you here is how interesting is, or different I would say, from the bony fish is the gills. Okay, right there. These gills do not have an operculum. No, bony fish, also known as osteoctites, have an operculum that covers these gills, because sharks, which are chondroctites, are cartilage. They don't have any bones, therefore there is no a bony operculum here. Another interesting part of this is an organ that they possess here near the mouth. You can probably see these tiny dots, tiny holes over there. These are called the ampullae or Lorenzini. Sharks have this in order to detect electrical impulses from prey, especially when they're hiding at the bottom, and under the sediment, or maybe behind a kelp. They can sense those electrical impulses, the muscle contractions of the prey. Now that I have here the shark, I'm gonna do some incisions. I'm gonna show you some interesting internal parts of it. So, by the way, here's the mouth. You can see right there. And usually what I do when I got that incision, I always try not to do it too deep, so I don't have to damage the internal organs. And then I just do the incision. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to also use my scissors to cut it. Or at least for me, it's a little more comfortable. I'm going to try to open it. I'm going to open it like a flap. Once I have this, one of the most interesting parts of the sharks is the oversized liver that they have, and this is the first thing you're gonna see. Over here, nice. It's coming out really nice, and you can see already the very big liver right here, as you can see right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut over here and see if I can open it. So I've got some liquid in there. Continue cutting. And let's open this up. Look at this. Look at these organs right there. And like I mentioned, look at the size of this liver right there. This is a very oily liver. And the reason it's very oily and the reason it's oversized is because sharks do not have a swim bladder. They don't have a swim bladder. So they don't have so the liver, this oversized liver, very oily, gives them buoyancy, so they can stay afloat. Okay, and as you know, oil is, look at the oil coming out right there. See, look at this, look at that. As oil is less dense than water, oil stays afloat, it stays above the water. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove. Oh, by the way, before I actually remove it, I want you to show you this. Right here is the kidney. Kidney is kind of difficult to see, but it's usually, look at over here, is right there. These are the kidneys. Okay, and this dark line is basically a vein that runs in between the kidney. Now here we have, like I said, the liver. Look at that. Look at another one here. Okay, and we have here as well the esophagus and the stomach. Let me just look at this. Look at the oil coming out of the so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something really quick. I'm going to remove one of these. You can see one here. Look at this one, and there's another one here. So let's remove this. I'm going to show you something. I just put the liver in water, and as you can see, it floats. See? The liver is actually floating on the water, and this is because of all the oil in it. So like I said before, this liver helps the shark to stay buoyant, although it doesn't do it 100%. That's why the sharks have to constantly swim. It helps them to stay buoyant. Okay, now then I'm going to show you the heart in just a minute. I'm going to try to get to it. Just got a little more. We still here have part of the liver. Let's get it out. You can see all the oil coming out. And once again, if I were to put it in water, it will stay, as you can see, stay afloat. Okay. Let's see, can get to the heart. It's a little difficult. Now right here, let me see if I can have the one, put it right there. Is the stomach and the esophagus right there. I'm gonna cut it here. You gotta see what it looks like. This is the esophagus right there. See? See here. Stomach right there. This thing right here is a rogae. This kind of expands. This kind of helps as kind of wrinkle for the stomach to expand. This is like an accordion. Okay. And right here is the esophagus connected to stomach. And the way I usually recognize it is because it is mushy. thing right there, which is part of the part of the esophagus, and then you have the rogae here on the stomach. Okay, and the last thing is, as you can see, this liver is still floating. Still floating right there. Very interesting to show you. And I just got a little more here. Use my scalpel. There you go. Put a little force. You can actually feel the muscle. There you go. To get it out. Right here. I mean, this is the first time I had a hard time getting the heart out. A little more cutting. I'm gonna be able to have the whole thing out. There you go. Right here, as you can see, the ventricle right here, and here this dark part right there is the atrium. It's only two chamber heart. Okay, right there. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. Once again, you can see it one more time. The purpose of the video was actually to show how sharks stay buoyant, and as you can see, this liver is floating above. You see, it's floating, is on the water, and this is how sharks can remain buoyant. Okay, thank you for watching.